Today I am sharing 4 dinner ideas that are quick and easy to make, high protein, and most importantly, taste good. Because let's face it, doesn't matter how healthy it is, we're not gonna wanna eat it if it doesn't taste good, right? At least I'm not gonna wanna eat it. I'm just not there yet. So let me show you what I did. So many times I forget to preheat the oven, but not today. So I'm gonna be cooking chicken breast 2 different ways, and right now I'm just cutting it into cubes so I can have it with my salads and wraps. I forgot to film myself doing this, but if you are not pounding your chicken before you cook it, you're really missing out because even though it is an extra step, it's just going to be so much more tender when it's done. So I picked up this mojito inspired marinade mix because it looked interesting. So I'm just going to mix in olive oil, vinegar, and water and massage it in, and I'll let that sit in the fridge while I prep the rest of the food. I'll be cutting this chicken into bigger pieces and roasting it in the oven. I really like cooking chicken breast this way because it's completely hands-off and allows me to multitask, and I'm able to cook a lot of it at once, which is great because I like having extra chicken that's already cooked since it makes it easy for me to eat healthy on nights that my family wants something that I know is going to put me over my calorie deficit, or maybe they just want something that doesn't have a lot of protein like pizza. And honestly, sometimes I'm just hungry during the day and I don't feel like having my typical snacks, so I'll just grab a tenderloin or two out of the fridge and just eat it cold. I think when I do that, my body knows that I'm needing extra protein, so I don't worry about it, I don't stress, I just eat more meat. So I do pound the meat in a Ziploc bag, and it has to be an open Ziploc because if the bag is closed, it'll pop. But I basically do this because I just don't like getting the counter all dirty or a cutting board, or I just don't want chicken juices flying everywhere. So I just find this way easiest. Okay, I transferred it to my tray and I'm just seasoning it with salt, pepper, garlic powder, paprika, thyme, chili flakes, and lemon pepper, which was a new spice to me. I normally also use onion powder, but for some reason I just keep forgetting to buy more and it's very frustrating because I need it. But I don't know, guys, sometimes I wonder if I have ADHD because I'm just constantly all over the place. As you can see, I don't measure, but I do go heavy on the spices because I don't like the taste of bland chicken. And looking at this now, I probably held back a little bit because I was feeling self-conscious about how much seasoning I was using. Once I got the chicken in the oven, I opened up a can of black beans because I'll use that in my taco salad, and it's great because it has extra protein and fiber. Next, I'll just be chopping up some tomatoes, onions, and lettuce. I'm checking on the meat here, and I wanted to point out that I don't break it up into tiny little pieces. I do leave some bigger chunks in there because it's easier to eat. If you chop up the meat into tiny little pieces, it's just going to fall off the fork, and it's frustrating when you're really hungry and trying to eat. But I don't know, maybe that's just me. But also this way I feel like I'm having a more substantial piece of meat, like a steak or even, I don't know, stew meat. But this is a poor man's dinner because it's just ground beef, but that's okay because it's still going to taste amazing. Okay, I'm continuing to chop the lettuce, and I'm using iceberg because it's cheaper, but if you can afford to buy a nice spring salad mix, those greens would definitely be more nutritious. So if you can do that, definitely do that. But if you're pinching pennies like me, you can always buy a bag of baby spinach because it's not very expensive at all and a little goes a long way. And just add that to your iceberg, and that's just what I do. As you can see, I'm just cutting up an avocado, and they're great because they have a lot of potassium and fiber, and they help keep you full because of the healthy fats. But you do need to be careful because they are calorie dense, so I wouldn't recommend having a whole avocado at any given meal. I'm done prepping the salad stuff, so now I'm just gonna season the meat with some taco seasoning, and I'm sorry if I scare you with how much seasoning I use here, but I just like it. And if this doesn't look scary to you, it's because I cut out the rest of the parts where I kept adding more taco seasoning. Taco meat is done, and now I'm just making my plate because it's what we're eating for dinner tonight, but you could absolutely put this into little Tupperwares and have it ready for when you need it. But look at how pretty this is looking, guys, with all the nice different colors. It looks so pretty and healthy. Now I'm just chopping up some cilantro to add to my leftover white rice from the other night. And what I'm going to show you here is that you could easily turn the taco salad into Mexican rice just by swapping out the bed of lettuce for rice. And normally I would make yellow rice for this, but since I have the white rice, it's been in the fridge, I just need to use it up. Okay, the chicken is done baking and it smells delicious. And again, I'll just be having it with my boring white rice. But if you want to make it even more nutritious, you could absolutely use brown rice or even cauliflower rice if you're looking to keep the carbs down. Here, I'm just making a quick dressing for my taco salad, and I'll also use it on my wraps. It's just sour cream and this Kinder's buffalo seasoning. Usually I use Greek yogurt because it's a little lower in calories and it has a lot of protein, but you could use salsa or even just enchilada sauce on top. And of course, you could just have it with nothing on top if you prefer it that way. Look how nice it looks with the dollop of the dressing on it. It just looks so pretty. I don't know, I'm getting hungry again. Okay, it's finally time to cook the chicken that's been marinating in the fridge. So I'm gonna let that cook a few minutes, but while that's cooking, I wanted to show you guys the tortillas that I use for my wraps. I bought them at Walmart and they have 70 calories, 6 grams of protein, and only 2 carbs once you've subtracted the fiber. And we subtract the fiber because our bodies don't digest it like other carbs, so we basically we just get rid of it, if you know what I mean. But yeah, when I compare it to a regular flour tortilla, you see that it's 210 calories, 4 grams of protein, and 33 carbs. Now, granted, it is much bigger, but even if you only ate half of that tortilla, it would still be 105 calories versus 70, 2 grams of protein versus 6, and 17 carbs versus 2. So even though it's a bit more expensive, to me, it's worth it. And also, I had a lot of fun making this video, and I definitely plan on making more like this, so if that's something you're interested in, I'd be thrilled if you subscribed. And of course, if this video gave you some new ideas, or you just enjoyed it, please remember to hit the like button because it really helps out my small channel. As you can see, the chicken is done, it smells delicious, and now I'm just putting some of the tomato, onion, and cilantro on the tortilla, and I'm going to be measuring out 3.5 ounces of chicken, because that'll give me 30 grams of protein. Now that's cooked chicken. If you're gonna measure out raw chicken, you need to measure out about 5 ounces to equal 30 grams of protein. And the plastic wrap on the scale is just because I was feeling lazy by this point and I just didn't want to have to wash it. You could call it good here and be done, but I'm Hispanic and we love our avocado, so of course I'll be adding some of that, as well as the spicy dressing that I made earlier. And guys, I don't know if you can really get an appreciation for how big this wrap was, but it was big. Like, this is a huge plate, so it doesn't look as big as it actually was, but I'm telling you, it was a lot. And I was having like a hard time even rolling it up and trying to get it all to fit in the tortilla. But I gotta tell you, it tasted amazing, and I am so glad that I have a bunch more of that meat left, so now I can have it a couple of times this week. So thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you next time.